Vaya, in this 2026 World Cup, besides the matches, Mexico City has prepared many surprises for football fans. Mainly exhibitions at various museums around the city, related or not to football. And in this video, I will tell you all the essential information to visit all the venues of this cultural corridor. I will start by saying that the majority of museums in Mexico open from Tuesday to Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. But there are a few exceptions that I will mention along the way. Starting with the furthest south venue is the Museum Dolores Olmedo, which is located in the former residence of the Mexican art collector Dolores Olmedo. This is a magnificent building where you'll find cholos, the Mexican hairless dog, and peacocks wandering in the outer gardens. The main display in the museum are paints by the renowned Mexican couple Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, along with popular art pieces representing the Mexican identity and diversity. Entrance to this museum is about 430 Mexican pesos, and it closes at 6 p.m. This museum has no special expositions. It was included in the list as part of its reopening on the 30th of May. Another museum in the south of the city is Universum. This is a science museum oriented for children and young audiences, with many interactive activities. To make the most of your experience here, go to the visitor's desk as soon as you arrive to enroll in all the available activities and the special expositions, and approach members of the staff for special demonstrations. Entrance for the museum is 90 Mexican pesos, and it is only open from Wednesday to Sunday. It includes the football exhibition called The Science is in the Field, which explains the game physics, biomechanics, and the artificial intelligence used in this World Cup. The last place in the south of the city is the CISS. This is not a museum, it is a venue for international diplomatic meetings. Therefore, visits are restricted and you must book in advance to access. This complex hosted the Brazilian team for the 1970 World Cup, and the King Pelé stayed here. His room was used to set an exhibition of football's impact in Mexico City during the World Cups that the city has hosted. In the east of Mexico City, you will find the Yancuic Museum. This museum has been open for a bit more than a year. It combines art, science, and technology. It is intended for children and young audiences, with some interactive features, where the Ecology Hall is a children's favorite. Entrance is free and it opens from Wednesday to Sunday. The football exhibition is called Epic Album, and it features over 15,000 football collectibles. If you head for the city center, you will find the biggest concentration of museums and places holding special events for the World Cup. Most of them at walking distance from each other, and they are relatively small, giving you the chance to see many through the day. I will begin with the Iturbide Palace Museum, which is located in Madero, an iconic street of the city center. This is a magnificent Baroque building, setting a permanent exposition about the story of the building and temporal expositions, mostly from Mexican artisans. The entrance is free and it opens every day from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Regarding the World Cup, there is a collection of master artisans' pieces from all over the country, in a diversity of materials, combining their crafts and their passion for football. A few blocks from here, you will find the MIDE, the Interactive Museum of Economy, situated in the beautiful Betlemitas former convent. It offers a friendly approach to economy through expositions, games, and workshops that apply the economic theory in everyday decisions and actions. It participates of the football experience with the exposition Pass the Ball, an interactive experience about the social, cultural, and economic impact of football. This museum is open from 9 a.m. and the entrance fee is 160 Mexican pesos. Then, a few more blocks from here, there is Colegio Nacional. This is a public institution of free access, dedicated to science and artistic and humanistic communication. In the facilities, they present conferences, broadcasts, films, and of course, expositions. So, to make the most of this place, check their calendar activity. The football exposition presented here is called What Shade is the Green Painting, featuring great moments of the national Mexican team. This place is open from Monday to Saturday from 10:30 to 6:30. Still in the city center, but located around the Alameda Park, the oldest park in America, there is another set of museums forming part of the football corridor. On the north side of the Alameda, look for the Franz Mayer Museum, which is a bit hidden. You'll have to go down some steps to this sunk park, and the museum is just in the corner next to a church. This museum is also in a remarkable building of the 16th century. Its permanent exhibition showcases the popular art collection of Ruth Lechuga and William Spratling, and the legacy of the German philanthropist Franz Mayer. A ticket to the museum, which includes the football exposition, Designing a Passion, is 180 Mexican pesos. This exhibition explores the football design from the technological, engineering, architectural, and aesthetic points of view. In short distance from the Franz Mayer Museum is the Kaluz Museum, displaying a permanent private collection within an outstanding building from the 18th century that used to be a convent. This museum is open from Wednesday to Monday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the admission is 95 Mexican pesos, but on Wednesday it's free. The feature exposition for the World Cup is Velasco's Garden, which presents the work of a prominent Mexican landscape painter and botanist, showing the transformation of Mexico over centuries. Heading to the south of the Alameda Park, there is the Tolerance and Remembrance Museum. Through its expositions, this museum intends to sensitize the public about human rights, promoting tolerance and peace. This museum closes at 6 p.m. and in this case, you can pay 100 pesos for accessing only the football exposition or 190 for the whole museum. The exposition is called Fair Play and invites the audience to reflect on football's tolerance and inclusion. In Chapultepec, another very touristic area, we'll find the rest of the venues. Let's start with the Natural History Museum, which focuses, of course, on nature and conservation, applying a technological approach. Entrance to this museum is just 39 Mexican pesos. Its special exposition for the World Cup is called A Ball for the Museum, in which soccer balls were used as canvases that interconnect nature and sport. Not too far away is Papalote Museo del Niño, probably one of the most entertaining museums for children. This museum is completely oriented to having immersive and interactive experiences to learn about a wide variety of topics. In this occasion, the museum is presenting an interactive football experience called Kids Field, for which you have different payment options. You can pay 120 pesos just for this exhibition, or 320 or 380 depending on what activities you'd like to add. The museum is open from 10 a.m. to 6:30. Close by is the National Museum of Anthropology and History, which I personally consider as one of the best museums in the country. This facility guards magnificent, iconic, and emblematic items from the different native cultures that inhabited the geographic space now consolidated as Mexico. Here, you will learn about the rich and complex history of the Mexican civilizations, some of which date back to 2,000 years before Christ. For the World Cup, This museum is presenting a photographic exhibition about Mexico's past and present. Entrance to the museum is 210 pesos, and it opens from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And after a trip to the past, we can see what comes ahead at the Tamayo Contemporary Art Museum. That is actually very close. Entrance to the museum is 95 pesos, and the opening times are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This museum invites you to two special expositions. The first one is on equal fields. This is an installation that reflects the social inequalities in a soccer field. The second one is a triple exhibition of diverse topics, including stages, pre-Hispanic inspired art, and a collection of paintings by Rufino Tamayo. The Center of Immersive Arts is also in this area. This is a cultural space with the purpose of making art more accessible to the general public through different events. For the World Cup, this center is hosting a very special and visually thrilling exposition called Leonora Carrington's Labyrinth. Entrance to this spectacular exposition is 291 pesos, and the opening times are from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Further north, in Polanco, the poshest area of the city, there is the Jumex Museum. This venue holds pieces of contemporary art and it's free entry. In relation to the World Cup, its exposition, Futbol and Art, That Same Emotion, showcases football as a global cultural phenomenon. And a special feature is the exposition called Mexico Here, for which a temporary venue was built next to the modern monument in Insurgentes Avenue. This is a multi-sensory free experience to represent and celebrate the richness of Mexican culture in 6 themed rooms, including 2 gastronomic spaces and a celebration area with monumental screens for watching the World Cup games live. Similarly, in the Zócalo Square in the city center, monumental screens will also stream the matches. Another very special event will be a parade in Reforma on the 13th of June, starting at 1 p.m., including elements like those of the Day of the Dead. Remember to be there at least 1 hour earlier to get a nice spot, and consider that the nearby Metrobus stations might be closed once the parade has concluded. I will leave you all the available links in the description. Let us know in the comments what you think about these expositions and learn more about Mexico City in our videos about the city center and the smart travel. Bye now!